Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here. In today's video, we're going to talk about my favorite fertilizer to use for grapevines. So if you have some grapevines, this video is for you. Imagine walking through your vineyard or backyard. Each grapevine heavy with clusters of plump, juicy grapes. The secret to this abundance is choosing the right fertilizer. And in this video, I'll show you how to nourish your grapevine for incredible growth and fruit production. Stick around to the end for my pro tips on timing and application. These small tweaks can make all the difference, I promise you. Hi, I'm Nora and welcome back to Nora's Gardening Journey. If you're passionate about gardening, growing your own fruit, or just want to take your grapevine to the next level, you're definitely in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to fertilize grapevines correctly and accurately. I'll explain what nutrients your grapevine needs, the best type of fertilizers to use, and the ones that I use myself as well, and how to apply them effectively. Now, grapevines are resilient plants, but if you want to have high quality grapes, you need to feed the soil. Nutrient-rich soil helps the vines develop strong roots, lush foliage, and abundant fruit. Neglecting the fertilization, what that does is it can lead to stunted post growth, yellowing leaves, and smaller, less flavorful grapes. Grapevines have specific needs at different stages of their growth cycle, and the right fertilizer, when you use it, that actually makes sure that the grapevines get the nutrients they need when they need them. What are the key nutrients that grapevines need? So let's break it down. There are 4 key nutrients, starting with number 1, nitrogen, and this is an essential nutrient for leafy growth. Too little nitrogen, what that does is it results in weak yellow leaves. But what happens if you have too much nitrogen? This can actually produce excessive foliage at the expense of fruit, and this was actually one of the main problems with this grapevine earlier on, but I managed to fix it later. The second nutrient is phosphorus, and this supports root development and flower formation, which is really important for fruit production. Number 3, we have potassium, which boosts overall plant health and improves grape quality and ensures sweeter, juicier fruit. And lastly is the micronutrients, and what we mean by that is elements like magnesium, zinc, and iron. All these play a really important supporting role. They help with photosynthesis and overall vigor as well. So think of these nutrients as the building blocks your grapevine needs in order to thrive. So coming up next, what is the best fertilizer options for grapevine? This is something that I use as well, starting with number 1 is organic fertilizers. I actually relied on organic fertilizers in the start, and you can use them in 3 ways, either through compost, which is add compost to your soil to improve the structure and provide a more of a slow release nutrient source. Another thing that I also use is bone meal, which it falls under organic fertilizers, and this is really rich in phosphorus. Now, why is bone meal excellent? It's because it's excellent specifically for early season root development. And lastly, we have seaweed extract. Seaweed extract, it's amazing for everything. It's packed with micronutrients. It helps stimulate growth and it boosts resistance to stress as well. So these were the 3 choices from the organic fertilizers. What if you want to use something different? We've got 2 other types. Type number 2 is inorganic fertilizers, starting with a balanced NPK fertilizer, which is basically a formula like 10-10-10. This will provide us equal amounts of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium as well. Next up, we've got specialized grape fertilizers. Now, these ones, they cannot be found at every gardening store, but once you find them, you're lucky. These are specifically tailored and customized for grapevines. Now, if I could find one, I could insert the picture right here. If not, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to work on that as well in the next video. And often these specific fertilizers for grapes, they include the necessary micronutrients and the right formulations as well. But don't worry, if you don't have them, you could go ahead and use a liquid fertilizer. Now, use them if you want a quick nutrient boost during the growing season, so during spring and during summer. Avoid using them in the post growing phases like winter and late autumn. And foliar sprays, these actually deliver nutrients directly to the leaves. So when can you fertilize grapevines? What is the best time? So I start fertilizing in early spring, because when it comes to fertilization, timing is everything. So just follow the key stages. So I start fertilizing in early spring. What I do is I apply apply a balanced fertilizer when the buds begin to swell, and this actually gives the vines the energy that they need to start the season strong. And in the flowering stage, I use a phosphorus-rich fertilizer, and this is for the intention of supporting flower and fruit development. What about midsummer? Midsummer, I go ahead and I apply a potassium-rich fertilizer to enhance grape quality as the fruits begin to mature. And post-harvest, you can also do that. I don't really do that for post-harvest, but that's something that I'm willing to incorporate this year as well. So you can feed your vines with compost or a balanced fertilizer. This really helps to help them recover and store energy for the next season. How can you apply fertilizer correctly? There are 3 ways to apply fertilizer. First of all, we've got the soil application. So I usually spread granular fertilizer evenly around the base of the vine, and I try to keep it at least 6 inches away from the trunk, and this really helps to prevent root burning as well. What if you're using a liquid fertilizer? Just before we end this video, I have 4 tips for you for strategies for helping you to fertilize grapevines successfully. Starting with number 1, make sure you test your soil. Always test it before fertilization, because what that does is it makes sure that you're adding only what is needed and you're preventing nutrient imbalances. We can't guess when it comes to fertilization. We need to have a fertilization schedule, a strategy, and we need to also have data. And by testing our soil, we need to make sure that yes, there's a gap here and I'm ready to fill in the gap. And once that gap is filled, within about 2 to 3 weeks, we start to see results. Also, number 2, avoid over fertilization, because that's something that I did early on, a mistake, and that basically caused about a whole year of no grapes growing, and each time the grapes would grow, they would fall off, and it was really detrimental. So too much fertilizer can actually harm your vines, leading to lush foliage but poor fruit production. Number 3, water wisely. So water your vines thoroughly after fertilizing in order to help nutrients soak into the soil, and that specifically applies if you're doing that soil application as well that we talked about earlier. And lastly, observe your vines. So pay attention to the leaves, to the growth patterns. Yellowing or weak growth might indicate a nutrient deficiency. And there you have it. This is the ultimate guide to fertilizing grapevines, and this is basically what I've learned across the times that I've been fertilizing and taking care of grapes as well. So please make sure that if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more gardening tips and strategies, and leave a comment below. What is your biggest challenge when growing grapevines? I'd love to hear from you. Take care and have a great day.